Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you are feeling well, and I would like to welcome you all in this 10th lecture on magnetochemistry. In the previous lectures, we have studied about history of magnetism, some basic terminologies that are related to magnetic species, and we have studied about magnetic states of various materials, and then we talked about magnetization and two units of magnetization, which are magnetic moment and magnetic susceptibility. In this lecture number 10, actually we are going to talk about uh, of a topic that is extension or effect of exchange of magnetic states of some selective transition metal complexes, and this phenomena is known as spin crossover effect. And further we shall talk about the factors that can trigger or induce spin crossover phenomena, or we can say that the factors on which spin crossover phenomena depends upon. And at the end of and after the discussion of factors that trigger spin crossover effect, we shall talk about some applications of this very important phenomena. And as our previous practice, at the end of this lecture, there are some assignments or questions for your practice or to assess yourself that what you have learned from this lecture. Spin crossover is a phenomena that occurs in some metal complexes wherein the spin state of complexes changes due to an external stimulus. The stimulus includes temperature, pressure. Spin crossover is sometimes referred to as spin transition or spin equilibrium behavior. The change in the spin state usually involves interchange of low spin and high spin configurations. Spin for the change in spin state usually involves interchange of low spin and high spin configurations. Delta naught and pairing energy, these are two important factors on which this phenomena depends. For high spin complexes, usually delta naught, that is known as crystal field splitting energy, is less as compared to pairing energy. And for low spin complexes or low spin state, delta naught is greater than pairing energy. And the complexes in which these two states can interchange or coexist, the difference between crystal field splitting energy and pairing energy is relatively small. In some of previous lectures, we have talked about crystal field splitting energy and pairing energy. Dependence of high spin versus low spin complexes on crystal field splitting energy of octahedral ligand field splitting for D5 case is represented in this mm, slide. For high spin complexes, you can see that the difference of energy between T2G and EG orbitals is less, and electrons prefer to occupy different orbitals with same spin. But for low spin complexes, the difference of crystal field energy becomes higher as compared to pairing energy, and electrons prefer to be paired in T to G as compared to go into EG state. So this slide is actually showing comparison of crystal field splitting energy and pairing energy. Spin transition curves typically plot the high spin molar fraction versus temperature as you can see on the three graphs. That is, on x-axis there is a temperature in Kelvin, and on y-axis there is a molar fraction of particles that exist in high spin molar fraction. Often a gradual spin transition is followed by an abrupt transition with hysteresis and a two-step transition. The abruptness with hysteresis indicates cooperativity or communication between the neighbor metal complexes. In the latter case, the material is bistable and can exist in two different spin states with a different range of external stimuli, and in this case the external stimuli is temperature and it is presented on x-axis. For the two phenomena, namely low spin conversion to high spin and high spin state converted back into low spin, the two-step transition is relatively rare but is observed, for example, with di-nuclear spin crossover complexes, for which spin transition in one metal center renders the transition in the second metal center less favorable. Several types of spin crossovers have been identified. So, in this slide, you can see adopted representation of spin transition curves of molar fraction of high spin state versus temperature. The first diagram represents gradual transition of high spin state into low gradual transition of low spin state into high spin state, and diagram B uh, that is showing abrupt change of low spin state to high spin state with hysteresis, and the third diagram represents two-step transition. Spin crossover phenomena is usually observed in first row transition metal complexes having electronic configuration from D4 to D7, and the geometry for such type of complexes is usually octahedral. The description about the diagrams that I narrated in last slide is presented over here. That is, spin transition curves are usually a plot of high spin molar fraction versus temperature, and the description of three different cases of SCO phenomena means gradual spin transition is followed by an abrupt temperature change. Usually the difference of temperature for the conversion of one spin state to other spin state requires a change in temperature around 10 Kelvin, and the second uh, mode of conversion of one spin state to other spin state that follows hysteresis, and the last case was that is two-step transitions. The abruptness with hysteresis indicates cooperativity or communication between neighboring metal complexes. In the latter case, the material is bistable and can exist in two different states. Two-step transition. two-step transition is relatively rare, but it is observed in di-nuclear spin crossover complexes for which the spin transition in one metal center renders the transition in the second metal center less favorable. Several types of spin crossovers have been identified. Some of them are light-induced excited spin state trapping, and its abbreviation is LIESST. And the second case is ligand-driven light induced spin change, and it is LD-LISC, and the last one is charge transfer induced spin transitions. As the name indicates, the first phenomena is due to the induction of light on complex, and the second case shows that the light directly affects ligand, and then ligand can induce spin crossover phenomena in the complex, and the last one is charge transfer induced spin transfer. The charge transfer, uh, in your previous semester you have studied different cases of charge transfer, that is charge transfer from metal to ligand, and the abbreviation for those were MLC, metal to ligand charge transfer, and the second case that you studied was LMC, ligand to metal, and the third case that you studied was metal to metal charge transfer. So overall, these two phenomena, three uh, factors that can induce phenomena of spin crossover in some complexes. Now we shall talk about a bit about the history of spin crossover phenomena. Spin crossover phenomena was first observed in 1931 by Camby and his co-workers. He discovered anomalous magnetic behavior for the complex named tris-NN dialkyl dithio iron 3 complexes. The spin state of these complexes was sensitive to the nature of amine substituent. In 1960, the first cobalt 2 spin crossover complex was reported. Magnetic measurements and mass Bohr spectroscopic studies established the nature of spin transition in iron 2 complexes. Building on those early studies, there is now interested in applications of spin crossover phenomena in electronics and optical displays. As I told you in previous slide that there are three major factors that can trigger the phenomena of spin crossover, and in the previous slide the second case was ligand induced, and the example of ligand induced phenomena has been presented in this uh, case, that I told you that the spin state of these complexes was sensitive to the nature of amine substituent. It means whenever we change the amine substituent, the spin state of complex changes. XRD crystallography, above and below temperature transitions will generally reveal changes in metal ligand bond lengths. Transition from high to low spin state causes a decrease in and strengthening the metal ligand bond. These changes are manifested in FTIR and Raman spectra. So it means mass bar and magnetic susceptibility measurements are related to change in magnetic moment measurements, but XRD Raman and FTIR spectroscopies are linked to change in bond length of metal ligand bond. Whenever there is a change in substituent or properties of a molecule or a complex, definitely there will be a certain change in bond length. So change in bond length can be characterized by XRD Raman spectroscopy and FTIR spectroscopy. Spin crossover phenomena is very sensitive to grinding, milling and pressure. But Raman spectroscopy has the advantage that sample does not require further preparation. In contrast to Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy technique, high colored samples may affect the measurements. However, Raman spectroscopy is also advantageous because it allows perturbation of the sample with external stimuli to induce SCO. Thermally induced spin crossover is due to high electronic degeneracies of low spin from and lower vibration frequencies of high spin, thus increasing the entropy. The Raman spectroscopy does not need any uh, preparation of sample. For FTIR studies, we need there are two possibilities for the preparation of samples. One of them is preparation of sample in KBR. For that one needs to prepare a sample of any uh, requirement study. You need to prepare one portion to 100 portion of potassium bromide. So it needs to be properly grind to make a thin film uh, to be placed in FTIR instrument. The other alternative method to run FTIR spectrum is the utilization of an instrument that is known as ATR. For ATR, we don't need to prepare sample in KBR, but whenever we place our sample on the sample grid of ATR, so we need to press the sample. So as we talked about at the start of this lecture, that this phenomena is dependent upon pressure. So that's why the author told in this slide that Raman spectroscopy is advantageous or superior because for Raman spectroscopy we don't need any preparation of samples. We can directly place our sample in its original form in the spectrophotometer. But for FTIR, either we use KBR or ATR, we need to grind or press the sample. In this slide, light-induced spin crossover phenomena in an iron complex has been presented. The Raman spectra of an iron 2 complex in high spin and low spin state, emphasizing the change in metal to ligand vibration modes, where a shift from 2100 and 14 centimeter to 2070 centimeter corresponds to change in the stretching vibrational modes of thiocyanate ligand from a low spin state to high spin state. So this is a conversion of complex from one state to other state, and we can see the overall complex has +2 positive charge, and the arrow head is showing that bond length in this case is 219.5 picometer, and in the presence of UV light of one frequency, this complex converts into and other state, and the other state has a bond length of 200.5 picometer. But when there is an application of a UV light of another frequency, the complex goes into original state. As you can see in this picture, that at the arrow, the mark H nu, but under the arrow you can see H nu. It means the frequency of UV light that is inducing phenomena in forward direction and the UV light that is inducing the phenomena in opposite direction or reverse direction. Both of these two frequencies have different uh, wavelength or frequencies. Magnetic susceptibility plot showing a spin transition at about 180 Kelvin. So at x-axis there is a temperature that is presented and in Kelvin, and y-axis you can see uh, magnetic susceptibility, and we can see as we increase temperature, the low spin state goes on converting into high spin state, and at the highest temperature there is population of molecules in saturation is in high spin. This is a Mossberg spectra of an iron complex at 300 Kelvin. The red, blue and green lines in the spectra are stimulus of contributions of low spin iron in +2 oxidation state and high spin iron in oxidation state 2 and low spin iron in oxidation state 3. Here is a Raman spectra of iron complex that we can see the change in bond length from change in bond length in metal to ligand and ligand metal to ligand bond length. In this complex, we can see a shift from 2114 to 2070 per centimeter. These two frequencies have been mentioned at the top right of this spectrum in the graph that is plotted at 100 Kelvin and showing the low spin state in blue color. In this graph you can see at the right hand side in blue color a frequency at 2114, but when the spectra of same compound was recorded at 300 Kelvin, means at 100 Kelvin the complex was in low spin state, but when the temperature changes from 100 to 300, the spin state of the complex was converted into high spin state. So at high spin state there was a change in frequency due to change in metal ligand bond, and the frequency that observed was at 2007. IR absorption of cyanide stretching vibrations of an iron complex at different temperatures, that is in the cooling mode A and in heating mode. So there was remarkable changes that were found in IR spectrum of this complex. Now we shall talk about the perturbation methods. So there are three perturbation methods, that is thermal perturbation method, pressure perturbation method and light perturbation. So initially we shall talk about the first class, that is thermal perturbations. Most common type of external stimuli is to induce SEO is thermal perturbation. One example is iron complex, which has trigonal bipyramidal geometry with the iron two centers in the equatorial positions. The high spin iron 2 remains under 20%, that is the range of 4.2 Kelvin to 50 Kelvin, but at room temperature, about two-thirds of iron 2 ions are in the sample are high spin state, as shown by absorption bands at 2.1 millimeters per second, while the other third of the ions remain in low spin state. This is a cyanide bridged complex. SCO phenomena is also influenced by the application of pressure. So this slide is actually to demonstrate the chemical structure of cobalt and iron complex. In this complex, you can see that is irons which are shown in orange colors. There are total 6 bonds that are attached to iron. Either it is at the top or either it is at the bottom. Both of these two irons are accompanying octahedral geometry. But cobalt, there are two types of cobalt. The cobalt ions that are at terminals, they have oxidation state +3, but cobalt that is sandwiched between two irons, it has oxidation state +2. So the geometrical representation of this complex will help us to understand the phenomena that is going to uh, in this structure. When the when changes the population of high spin to low spin upon application of pressure, a conversion from low spin to high spin state, and a shift of temperature half, that is the temperature at which half of the complex is in low state to high temperature will occur. This effect results from an increase in zero potential energy difference, that is represented by delta naught HL, causes caused by an increase in relative vertical displacement of potential wells and a decrease in activation energy. Delta WHL, which favors low state. The complex exhibits this effect. At high pressure, the low spin state predominates and transition temperature increases. At high pressure, the compound is almost entirely transformed from low spin state at room temperature. As a result of application of pressure on this complex, the bond lengths are affected. The difference in metal ligand bond length in high spin state and low spin state changes the entropy of the system. The change in spin transition, that is spin transition temperature, and the pressure obeys Clausius-Clapeyron relationship. In this slide, we can see the mathematical expression of Clausian-Clapeyron relationship, the change in spin transition temperature, the temperature at which two spin states can coexist, and it is represented by T half, and the pressure obeys Clausius-Clapeyron relationship. Here is a mathematical expression for this relationship. The increase in pressure will decrease the volume of unit cell of the complex and increase in T half of the system. So these two relations are well represented in the equation, as we can see that there is an opposite relation between pressure and volume. A linear relationship between temperature and pressure for the complex where the slope of the line is equal to the slope of the line is a ratio of uh, temperature and pressure. This slide is a representation of relationship between pressure and temperature, means the temperature at which two spin states can coexist. Whenever we increase pressure on a complex, its temperature will increase. The temperature that I am talking about, the temperature at which the two spin states can coexist. With this, I would like to say thank you so much. We'll see you in the next lecture that will be about light perturbation and applications of spin crossover phenomena. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Allah Hafiz.